think the lens cap is on.
Oh, that's why. Oh my gosh.
Sup, bro?
You should probably not use the last part. That was not very well articulated.
Go.
Next. You haven't sang Charlie.
Okay. Can I start over?
Oh man.
Nah. Yeah.
Oh, this is good.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Yeah.
Okay. You seriously recording me right now?
Oh, I hate this. I never know what to say.
I get really goofy in front of the camera, so. What will you most miss about Shelly?
I just answered that question, didn't I? Or I didn't?
That
Oh!
was appreciate.
Appreciate?
Yeah.
Oh.
What will you most miss?
Okay.
We were at fellowship dinner and I was talking to a bunch of the guys and they were all talking about lifting, and I used to do powerlifting, and so I was talking to them about like weightlifting and how I was a powerlifter, and Shelly came and sat down and I think Brandon or Tim said, "Oh, Karina, you should be on the powerlifting team," and Shelly said something like, "Oh gosh," or like she was like really not impressed, and usually people are really impressed. So from then on, I knew that I really had to work for it.
I was like going around like saying hi to people or like introducing myself, and then there's this girl sitting by herself in the corner, and I remember reaching out to like shake her hand, being like, "Hi, my name's Timothy," and she was like, "Oh, my name's Shelly," and I was like extending my hand, and she's like, "Sorry, I'm sick." And I was like, oh, okay, that's fine.
When I told her that I could kind of play the drums, she was like, "Oh, like what does kind of mean?" And I was like, "I don't know. I like played in church before, but like never really like other songs." She's like, "So like, can you play?" And I was like, "I don't know." And she's like, "Okay, like just email me and let me know if you can play."
She was extremely stone cold, cold-blooded.
Scary.
She's one of the few women who intimidate me. I don't want that on them.
I've known Shelly since freshman year because she's my Casey mother, and yeah, that was really special to be able to, I guess, have someone older to look up to and also follow, because she's just 1 year above and, you know, follow me through Yale until now.
My first impression was that Shelly wouldn't lie to me, or she wouldn't try to gloss things over or sugarcoat things, and I really appreciate that.
She introduced me to UCW, first person, so she gets the credit for that. She was very, I guess, passionate about Christianity and was like excited to share about the different communities she was involved in.
Like after having joined Living Water and like seeing like Posey and seeing the other side of you, and also like how you can be really affectionate, I think it's really pretty cool. Yeah, so you're a pretty cool person, Shelly.
I now see that Shelly, you are very tender-hearted, very kind, very sweet person.
The first time I heard Shelly's name was through my Pearson Big Sip, Sherlyn, and Sherlyn said that she came to Yale just kind of passively following God and passively following Him until she met her freshman year roommate, Shelly, and Shelly really showed her that following God meant putting Him at the center of her life, and that was so inspiring to hear of this person I'd never heard of before who had put this God that I never heard of before at the center of her life.
So my first impression of Youngin was that she always wore baseball caps while sitting in Bass Library and talking to freshman boys.
I remember the first time I went to TNT, it was this really foreign Christian fellowship environment. And there was a bunch of people standing at the front singing worship songs. And Youngin was at the mic wearing a baseball cap and a blue shirt and a ponytail. Just in the most beautiful voice, these songs I never heard before. And I'll never forget. That was the first time I saw Youngin.
So I actually don't remember my first impression of Youngin, but apparently she remembers her first impression of me, so I'll just go with that. Freshman year, I guess she was a sophomore. She thought I was very quiet and kind of, I guess, intimidated by me. I guess she tried to like joke with me and I just didn't laugh. But I'm glad that we're now at a point where, yeah, a lot of what I do with her is like joke around, and she's a really fun person.
Well, my first impression of Youngin wasn't exactly positive. I'd say it was really weird. I was at this Casey event and she just randomly showed up and was making fun of Brian Paul. I somehow got roped into it and she started apologizing to me, saying that that was not the way to make a first impression on someone. And I was like, okay. And she ended up like finding me on Facebook and messaging me and saying, oh, let me make it up to you. And she decided to meet me at Panera the next day. So I got to talk to her there and got to realize that she was actually a very interesting person. So I ended up forming a more positive first impression of her after that experience.
Going around to everyone being like, hi, I'm Youngin, like, like young because I'm small and like I look young. She just had this like really big smile and was like talking to all the freshmen. She was like very in your face.
And I reached out to her because I saw online on Facebook that she had posted a video of her singing and playing piano, and it was worship music. And so I was very interested to hear about, like Christian life at Yale. I thought she's very lively. She's still very lively. She's like a tiny ball of fire.
She struck me as someone who was very talkative, always had a lot to say, very friendly, very, very bouncy, very lighthearted, very, very fun to be around. And I mean, my impression of her then has never really changed after that.
I know that she likes coffee a lot. Oh, hot Cheetos! I love how you're unashamedly in love with Hello Kitty. Posey!
Do the Brandon.
Ellie also has an alter ego named Posey, and Posey always goes, I'm like,
So sometimes she'll like...
sometimes she just flares her nostrils a lot, so like, am I doing it? I don't think I'm doing it. Is it working? Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Or like flare her nostrils like this, like during praise practice, like, yeah, just like do the sprinkles.
So I think the quirkiest thing about Youngin is that she doesn't only love basketball, she's actually crazy about basketball. And I think she has a huge obsession with Chandler Parsons, which I can totally understand because he's extremely attractive, but she has this crazy fangirl over Chandler Parsons that I just can't understand, and I think that's super quirky.
Can you imitate her laugh by any chance?
I can't. I actually can't.
She's like, oh!
When she like laughs, it's like...
So like when Youngin laughs, like the tips of her eyes like slope upwards a little bit, and like she laughs really, really loudly, like or something like that. I don't know if it was accurate enough, but she laughs really loudly, and it's just really, really great to hear her laugh.
She's very good at affirming people because she's very blunt and honest, so Like, you know that when she says things, it's not just to be nice or to like make you feel good. It's like she actually thinks certain things about certain people, and she'll tell you.
I appreciate Shelly's sincerity in interacting with other people.
So I only ever cried during animated movies like Up, like that scene where Ellie dies. But after hearing Shelly sing, I've cried at least 3 times when she was leading Praise Team. She's brought me through a lot of miserable moments, but also really joyful moments. So I just want to thank Shelly for her voice and for her leadership in the church and Praise Team.
You know, I'm really glad that I had a chance to get to know you. I really think you're just a great leader, and also the fact that you just know so much about the Bible and what it says, and I think it's it's just really inspiring to see someone have that kind of passion for the Word and for serving the Lord.
The thing that I appreciate most is that she is always a role model for me, as in I always look up to her. I remember this year when we had joined God Pod, I was in Shelly's group, and I was really amazed by how passionate she was and how knowledgeable she was, and just how mature she was with the way that she led God Pod.
Whenever she opens her mouth, it's very apparent that she's thought through a lot of what she wants to say, and so much like beardy wisdom.
During freshman winter retreat, I was assigned to Shelly's small group, and I think she was the perfect person for whose group I could join, because the kind of discussions that we had in our small group was really fruitful to me. I guess I tend to have a lot of questions, and those were the questions that I think Shelly has also thought about, and she had, if not answers, she had a lot of deep thoughts or things that she could contribute to that.
She just will always be very straightforward with you, and there's no kind of beating around the bush. It's always good, because whether or not it's something like criticism or also just a compliment, it's when she says it, it's what she's thinking.
The fact that I have someone who will always tell me when there is something dirty on my face.
I am just really reassured that I can text Shelly anytime for encouragement or prayer, and she will pray for me over text. She'll just throw some of the Lord's promises from Isaiah out at me over text. I cry almost every time. It's just really beautiful to be able to have friends who will always be willing to fight with you in prayer or remind you of what truth is in your life.
I really appreciate the way that she just asks questions and isn't afraid to just dig into why things are done the way they're done and try to make them better.
Even today, she's actually in Bass Cafe where she usually is, and just walking here, I just asked her what she was up to. She's writing a paper as usual, and then she asked me what I was up to, or why I was here, and I was why else would I be here? I come here to study, and she was oh really? Don't you come here to hang out with friends? I was no, I don't come here just to hang out with friends and see you. But yeah, I mean it's kind of a bad example, but an example of kind of how we interact.
I think what I really appreciate about you the most is probably the fact that I can make fun of you. And especially I remember the first time that we met was probably at a Casey meeting, and man, I remember I had a field day,
She's very energetic and cheerful, so she always makes me laugh.
She connected me to Song from YSC. She heard about the questions that I've had regarding religion, and she immediately thought of Song and said that it'd be great if I get to talk to him. I'm very grateful for Youngin.
I think I appreciate how Youngin can, despite how like tired she may be herself, she can still really reach out to other people and you know, show them love and just like give her time freely to other people.
Youngin was the biggest proponent of the hot seat, but she wanted to make it just for hot seat to grill Jiwon. She thought that all the questions that were asked were too soft, so she added her own question, and it was, Jiwon, what do you like guys to wear? And I remember Jiwon being really embarrassed and answering, oh, V-neck shirts, and sometimes when they're a little bit tight, that's what I really like.
Youngin seems to be one of those people who does literally everything on campus, but I think at the same time she seems to really care about the relationships that she has, especially with underclassmen, and still really manage to take time to foster those. Praise Team McDonald's Sundays. Shelly has converted me into a lover of habanero ranch sauce, and we all just get like McChickens, and me and Sam split a 20-piece chicken McNuggets. We're always so happy when the food comes, and me and Shelly get 2 small coffees, and it's just like the best thing ever.
One of them was freshman year, or my freshman year, winter break. Or I guess it wasn't really my idea, but I don't know if people know Maggie anymore, but Maggie was, she was one of the Frosh Pod leaders my freshman year.
My sophomore year, I think it was over winter break, Shelly, Richard, and I, and actually Maggie, I don't know if you guys know her, she was the Frosh Pod leader when I was a sophomore.
And she decided to visit Shelly in LA, and she really wanted to go to Disneyland.
We decided to, Maggie really wanted to go to Disneyland, and you know, that winter break she happened to be coming to town, and obviously, being the thoughtful person that I am, it was my idea that we all go.
I hadn't been in a very long time, but someone needed to drive, I guess, and so...
We all agreed to go there, and we needed someone to drive, so naturally, we asked Richard to drive.
We happened to pick a day that it was raining, and none of us brought any umbrellas or raincoats. So.
The day that we went, it happened to be raining, and none of us brought umbrellas or rain boots or anything like that, so none of us were ready.
So we bought rain ponchos that were really expensive, and I know Adrian got really mad.
So we all just had to go buy these rain ponchos. Actually, I have it with me. So we bought these rain ponchos, which were like $8 a piece.
At buying rain ponchos that were just not worth the price.
$8. I had a terrible time in Disneyland because I wasted $8 on this poncho.
And yeah, but the thing is, we had a good time. It was fun. I think it was a nice time to bond, kind of outside of school, outside of college. My first semester, after my first semester in college, just kind of being in the UCW community and knowing that they would be my friends kind of outside of school as well. That was really cool to experience.
But at the end of the day, I guess it was still a good bonding experience for us to meet together outside of school, outside of church, outside of Yale. It was nice to know, I had friends that would be there for me off campus. Yeah, there are also a lot of other favorite bonding memories. For instance, Brandon, Richard, Shelly, and Adrian, myself, we have this group called Bars. But I'm not going to talk about it.
The Bars group, and for those of you who don't know what Bars is, it's kind of what it sounds like, but it's kind of also an acronym for Brandon, Adrian, my name, and Shelly. And we are all over 21, so we are legal. Yeah, we just like go to a bar or go to Yorkside or something and get a beer or two and just chat and talk. And it was like a lot of fun. I think one of the highlights, honestly, of this year. I don't know if you should include that.
There's one time at fellowship dinner, it was just like, I think me and a couple other people sitting down really, really quietly eating dinner. No one was talking, we were just kind of sitting there. And then Youngin walks up and then immediately so much conversation just starts and she just brings so much laughter and joy to all of us. I think it's been a really big blessing to have her with us.
Both of us spent too much time probably in Bass Library, and both of us would be here until it closed at 1:45. And she lived in Swing Space her junior year, and I lived in Styles, so I would walk her back. And because it was so late, it was just like both of us had very limited filters, and so we just like be saying random things and like joking around as we walked back. But I mean, it was nice to have someone to walk back with after like studying for hours.
Cat.
I think one word that best describes Shelly is serious.
Very silly.
Profound.
Passionate or intense.
In one word, Shelly is passionate. She has a passion that is infectious, and I think being around her, being in her Bible study that one time during winter retreat was so inspiring, just to see somebody who had such strong faith and who wanted to know God so much really made me draw closer to God.
That's more than one word.
I'm gonna say deep.
Intense.
Fun, hardworking.
I think the one word that describes Youngin the best is bubbly, because she's always smiling and yeah, she's always very happy and very loud in a good way.
Upbeat.
Extremely hardworking.
Energetic.
She was also really into college basketball and like sports, so I don't know if you can make a living off of like doing brackets, but maybe she could make enough money to. Yeah, it's stupid. Never mind.
Not taking any crap from her kids. Her kids are gonna be well disciplined and well dressed.
I think in 10 years, Youngin, you're going to go back to Georgia because you like Georgia and you're going to be a peach farmer.
She'll probably be pursuing a PhD in biomedical engineering. She wants to be a lawyer, right? So probably getting a PhD in biomedical engineering.
Changing the world.
Maybe working at IJM, I know she really liked her experience there, so a legal expert or a lawyer for IJM, I think she'd really like that, and that she'd really do an excellent job.
In 10 years, Shelly will be the next Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Actually, that might be like 15 years, but I think it'll happen.
One thing I will miss is photobombing Shelly and Brandon's pictures all the time. It has been a hobby of mine these past couple of years.
Two things come to mind most readily. I think one is just her knowledge and expertise and love for the word. And she just has a real gift of explaining the Bible and just kind of not just its like significance or like why it's important or like what does it say, but really like explaining its beauty and why it's beautiful. I think that's something that I'm definitely gonna miss. Another is her voice. Like she's just a really good singer, and like being on Praise Team and being able to hear her sing every week was definitely a blessing as well.
What I'll miss most about Shelly is our mutual love for Blue State BLTs. Just our talks about life and about Christ. Sitting at Blue State or Panera or wherever we're at, I'll miss that a lot.
her ability to help make me like think about a praise song more than like its musical aspects, but like especially like the words and the message it's trying to send. That's really like helped me kind of appreciate praise and praise songs more.
The passion that she brings to the UCW Bible studies, deep sort of insights that she has about God and the Bible and how we ought to live as Christians.
One thing that I'll miss really most about Youngin is probably the fact that she's really caring and she like genuinely cares about how other people are doing.
Just being able to joke around with her and like she sasses me and I sass her.
I'll miss like seeing Youngin around campus just like walking somewhere but like having this really bright smile and like her eyes are like may look tired but she'll like still express that she's excited about stuff.
Congrats, Youngin. We're so proud of you. You're graduating soon. We love you.
Hi, Youngin. I am so excited to be able to contribute to your UCW Senior Banquet video in a small way now that you've joined the UCW family. I just wanted to say that I've really enjoyed getting to know you over the years since your, believe it or not, adorable freshman baby years when I was a PL, because you're not so adorable anymore. And I'm sorry, but not sorry for all the times I sassed you out of love. Promise, out of love. Thank you for bearing with me and for being a baby that I could dote on. But in all seriousness, I've been amazed by your incredible work ethic and dedication to the things and people that you care about, whether it was giving your life to the admissions office and Yes Weekend, or spoiling and indulging your Casey families. And I have absolutely no doubt that you will continue to excel in whatever you do post-grad and continue to bring smiles to the people who are your coworkers, your new roommates, whoever you meet out in the air quotes. I'm like holding my laptop so I can't use both hands, but in the real world. But keep me updated on your post-grad adventures, and congratulations on graduating. Not that I had any doubt. Hi, Shelly. I can't believe that it's time for your senior banquet already, and I just wanted to pass along a few words of encouragement. I wanted to thank you for being such an encouragement to everyone around you, whether UCW or the campus still at Yale, so many of us alums, and everyone that you've touched, whose lives you've touched really, whether singing about the beauty of God's grace with the lovely voice that He's gifted you with, or working tirelessly to advocate for human rights, and I'll never forget the excitement with which you talked about your first day at your IJM internship, and I am so excited to see where God takes you through law school and beyond, and I am sure that He will continue to use you for amazing, wondrous things. Best of luck, and I'm just so excited for you and your future.
Hey Posey, I can't believe you're graduating already, but congrats. I'm so proud of you. I miss you and love you a lot, and you will always be my favorite cat.
Hey Youngin, hey Shelly, and the rest of UCW. First off, just wanted to say congrats on graduating from Yale. I know it's been a very long, hard-fought race, and you should feel very proud of yourselves for finishing it. Just wanted to share with you a couple things that's been on my mind lately during my year after graduating from Yale, and it may sound a little preachy, sorry for that, but basically I just want to talk about figuring out God's will. That's because I think a lot of the language surrounding recent grads in the Christian community is figure out God's will for your life. Figure out what He wants for your career, who He wants you to marry, what kind of family He wants you to raise, where He wants you to live, all that jazz. And I think, to an extent, these things are important to think about. But what He's been teaching me this year is what's more important than figuring out God's will for your life is to figure out how your life fits into His overall will. Because ultimately, we were put here on earth for one reason only, and that is to prepare our spirits for when Christ comes back. Sorry if that sounds really doomsday-ish, but it's true. I think it's really important to have to devote our time and effort to really understanding what God's will is, and that means understanding His heart, understanding why He created us humans, understanding how His crazy but overall amazing plan works. And so my takeaway from this is just to always have a spiritual perspective throughout your life, to base your decisions on what's really important, and to put in a lot of time and effort into figuring out God's will, His overall will. Because I come to realize as well that it requires a lot of time and effort on our part. It's not easy, and I'm a very, very long way off myself. So I hope that after graduation, you take advantage of this turning point to fashion a life that's focused on what's really worth living for. So exciting times. Exciting times to go into that next stage of life. And again, congrats on graduating. I hope you have awesome memories for the rest of your time as seniors at Yale. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Bye.